Hello, welcome to Star Wars Spells Out. I'm your host, Josh Chapman, and today, Skelly Crue, episode 4. What's it called?
I don't remember no Attin.
He's pretty good. Pretty good. He did a little warm up in the warm up here, but we got Catherine Kneen and Matthew Mohl here tonight. How's it going, guys?
I go by the name Matt Frost now.
Oh, you're doing accents and everything. Hello, Catherine. A special hello to you. How are you doing?
Yep. Seems. Look, I'm fine. It's finally got
Catherine's partying like it's 2020.
Yeah, it's finally got me. This is my first positive test. So, yep. And I'm annoyed more than anything else.
What?
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
I thought we'd save it for the further reaction for the podcast.
You've got the spicy cough.
Yes.
I don't think you can catch it over Zencaster, but you never know.
Oh, yeah. You've got malware virus probably or something.
Yeah.
You've gone the longest. You were probably one of the, if not the person I knew who hadn't, like one of the last holdouts.
Right.
And for someone who worked with school children and had to be in public places quite a lot, it was quite amazing. You were, as they said from Legend of Chun-Li, dancing between the raindrops.
Yeah. So it is what it is. I'm feeling okay. I'm annoyed more than anything else. Yep.
I think I did. I'm just trying to remember. I'm pretty sure there's one review week we did where I had COVID and I did it with COVID as well. When I had COVID, it might have been when I got back from Celebration London, because I got COVID when I got back, and I think pretty sure I caught it at the Kenobi. Was it the Kenobi finale? I think it was. No, Kenobi one? Yeah, it might have been. Anyway, but I think I had COVID on like the next time we recorded on that, but I can't remember. I have to go back.
And I was sitting next to you at that.
Yeah, that's why I don't think it was that one, because it was at Melbourne Central. It wasn't.
Oh no!
It mustn't have been Kenobi then. Maybe Ahsoka. What came out in? Yeah, it must have been Ahsoka, because we saw the second last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was sitting with a couple of other mates, so too bad for them. Anyway, I digress. Skeleton Crew, episode 4. I don't remember no damn Attin. Sorry, Matt looked like he was going to do it again. He's just on repeat. He's just
my throat was getting so warmed up and excited.
That's your party. It's your party trick. Your party trick. Another long ass title, but at least this one kind of felt a little bit more relevant to the goings on of the show. I mean, not that they all don't, but I don't know, this one felt much more central to the show.
This was good. It was a good one. He kept repeating it. I was like, why does he keep doing that? And then I was like, anyway. It made sense to the end.
Yeah. We'll get through the episode. It felt all bets are off. Like, it kind of took this massive, like, right turn. Kind of, I didn't think that they would go back to Attin at the start, but maybe we'll go back around. We'll work our way through this like a couple of normal people. What was the running time this week, Mohl?
38 minutes.
Not bad.
1 minute for the recap and 6 minutes for the credits. That leaves 31-minute episode. Just good enough.
And
31.
Directed by the Davids or the Daniels?
The Daniels.
The guys who did Everything Everywhere at Once, which is a fabulous movie.
Yes. So I read a little article today, and they were hired on this, before that came out.
Okay.
So, like before all the awards and everything, they were hired on this. I think they're friends with or know that like
John Watts or one of those people.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, they kept the weirdness in check. There was some interesting sort of shot choices, especially towards the end, which I thought was a little bit unique for Star Wars and for this show. But it didn't kind of fall off the weirdness scale that much. I wouldn't have thought, considering if you've seen some of their movies, it didn't kind of go too bonkers.
Yeah. Well, if they're not involved with the writing, they'll just directing.
Yep.
Yeah.
They had to rein it in. So yeah, we'll kick off at the start, and we jump into hyperspace, and they get to the planet, and we like go, hey,
We're home.
Are we home? It was at Attin, and as soon as that happened, I was watching with Olive and Sloan. Olive just goes, "Dad, is this the last episode?" And I've just got, "Oh, you'll just have to watch and find out, mate. Like you just have to wait and see." But turns out that it's not quite. It's kind of like the same planet, but it's not the same. It's obviously not the same planet, but it's got. Did you notice like all the satellites and stuff were all kind of like wrecked when they arrived at the planet at the start? Like all the sort of like the barrier or the version of the barrier.
Yeah. And I did like at the start that Fern was no grown-ups on the bridge. You know, when Jode Nanarwood.
Yeah.
I just want to call him Jude Law.
Just say you can say Jude Law.
Space Jude Law.
Yeah. Crimson Jack with
Jack.
trousers.
You know, he was, looking, trying to see what he could see.
He was going treasure.
He was hungry for the treasure. His eyes were bulging out when they pulled that planet. He was kind of like, oh, I can't believe we actually pulled this one off.
Yeah, but he got kicked off, and then he came running back when, when the ship was sort of went into that autopilot and.
Yeah.
And
so was that just because it's a ship approaching a planet and they autopilot them down to the ground, or was there something else going on with that? We don't have to read too much into that. Or was it because we find out later on the ship had been there before? And
oh, okay. Actually, was that planetary autopilot or ship autopilot?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like ship one because he could override it pretty quickly. I feel like if it was planetary, you might not have any choice. How do these things work? What's the protocol here?
Yeah, admittedly, when I watched it, I thought it was
like tractor
the planet.
Beamish. Yeah,
like sending out this autopilot override. You will do this, from whatever planetary defense systems, still in place.
Can I ask a Star Wars question just very quickly, which I've never even thought about, and it just occurred to me just then when you said tractor beam.
Good location to ask a Star Wars question.
On a Star Wars podcast.
Is tractor beam like the term tractor beam? Is it called a tractor beam because it pulls you like a tractor?
No, it retracts you in.
It's not retractor beam. Is it tractor like a tractor like towing you in?
I now I'm just thinking of the farm machine towing in the USS Enterprise.
Oh god.
Is that? Do we need? Yeah. Just again, as we say on every podcast, we need Molly and Alex to answer these questions. I don't know if Molly's still listening. I know she listened to the last recaps with the Acolyte recaps. We don't know, but if you're listening, if you know, can you just bring that one up and find out where's the video on that one? If I see a video on Star Wars Explains that week, like, what does a tractor beam stand for? A tractor beam is named after a tractor. That's my Alex.
The term was coined by E.E. Smith, an update of his earlier "A Tractor Beam" in his novel Space Hounds of IPC.
Oh, so George Lucas just nicked it.
I would have thought Star Trek nicked it first.
It's a device that can attract one object to another from a distance. You and your farm tractor. You're such a gaffer boy.
Well, my family does sell farm machinery, so I was trying to get one in for the team.
Go back to Toshi Station.
Well, there you go. All right, maybe we don't need a Star Wars Explained video for that anyway.
I'm Aussie Alex Damon. Thank you very much.
Right. Okay.
Without the YouTube or any of that stuff.
Yeah. Polite without the politeness and everything, all that stuff.
Waiting for lines and stuff.
So they sort of go down to the planet and they're like, oh, we're home. There's the houses. We're pulling in. It's all we're pulling in, and then Jude Law does some very good acting where he kind of gets off and he's like, oh, like this is it. This place sucks, and was it taste a little ashy and sort of he's like doing some good like dub yuck acting, and everything's not quite as it seems.
Yeah, he was really good this episode. He seemed very amused when Fern kicked him out of the bridge. Of that sort of annoyed, but yet amused that
He's kind of feel like I'm getting close to the payoff here. Nothing's going to bring me down.
Yep, yep, and just amused by them, asserting their authority. But yeah, he also said, "Oh, it reminds me of my home planet." So, yep.
A little bit of the lore. So, I mean, we can get into it now. Basically, this seems like this is one of the other Jewels of the Republic planets. Is it it's I always call it at Crappen. It's not really called
at Akron.
At Crappen. It's just not quite as nice as the other. It's a bit crap.
Yeah.
But essentially, well, it just seems like it's a copy, like almost like an exact copy of the last planet. Like it seems like even all the geography and everything's all in the same. All the buildings are in the same spots.
Definitely had the same, designer, because even the buses, the little trams, if you saw, there was a wrecked Rex droid in there. So yeah, the houses were designed the same. All of that was the same design. So they went to Space Metricon and
just got the
developed the plans.
It's sort of like apparently in some of those Chinese megacities they've just like recreated like the some famous French cities and things like that. They've just got an exact copy of sort of like Paris or Venice, and they've just built the same thing again. Yeah. But it seems like, I don't know, Mohl, like it seems like they've just built this planet, these things at the same time for the same purpose, and one's just gone sour.
It feels like Watts has gone, okay, Star Wars, but let's give it a new planet. Let's give it a pirate name at Attin, at Akron, and let's give it a multiverse similar vibe, and the planets are the same with pirate names, and there's some sort of weird connection for all of them.
For the 8 of them. Yeah. So are they
some secret pirate planet system?
I'll turn your levels down in a minute. Robot.
Yarr!
He's having a good time.
The rum is good.
So, yeah, the kids kind of run off, and they make. There was a quite good notice where they make Jude Law stay on the ship, and they put in, was it babysitter mode?
Yep. Yep. He literally says, "Get back on board, baby."
Yeah, my kids thought that was quite funny. And again, he doesn't seem overly perturbed. I think he's just like, well, things are going to pay off. I'm just rolling with it here. As far as I know, I'm on Attin, even though the planet kind of sucks. I'm getting closer to that treasure.
Again, is that slightly amused by it all, like a bit annoyed, but slightly amused by it.
Kind of having a good time. I think he's also like, well, I'm in the air. I'm away from danger currently. I'm not being chased. I'm very close to this treasure. Things are looking up for old Crimson Jack. So, what is this place then? Is it? When they're talking, when Kim was talking about like that all the planets are being destroyed, I don't know. In my head, I always just assumed that they got Alderaan, like blown up. It never really occurred to me that they were just, kind of crappy, wrecked.
I think, having seen what's later in the episode, all the planets are secret locations completely shut off from the universe of Star Wars. I mean, in the Star Wars galaxy, but completely shut off. I mean, they don't deal with outsiders. They don't know what's going on in the outside world. Mm-hmm. And they're either in disarray, complete and total harmony, complete control, like under the control of droids. Like,
do you think it's like a social experiment? It's just like if we control the people one way, you get this result, which is just sort of like a boring planet where everyone's sort of controlled by droids. And then if you leave them to their devices a bit more, then they all just turn on each other and blow the planet up. And
I mean, this could be a Palpatine experimental zone.
Like a social experiment. It's like a great big brother kind of thing.
Palpatine's living ant farm.
Palpatine, because it's way before Palpatine. Anyway,
he somehow
went backwards. Somehow Palpatine went backwards.
Somehow Palpatine built an ant farm.
Anything's on the table.
These planets, They were there for a reason. I don't think it's a social experiment because jewels of the Republic sort of sound like there's a reason for them, a purpose. Maybe Akron just opened up, or something went wrong.
Yeah.
Something went wrong there.
It's just weird that they're identical. That's just, it just seems weird. Like, no, we don't have identical Star Wars planets anywhere else. Like, they're all kind of a little bit different. I mean, I know they share, everybody's got a bloody gonk droid or got a moisture evaporator or all that kind of stuff.
What about Tatooine and Dantooine?
Well, like, everyone's got a couple of O's in it, but like, it just seems like this is like literally they've just plonked the same city in the same thing. So that's just sort of where it seems a bit sus.
Look,
but yeah,
it's far more cost effective to reuse the same design than get it all custom built. You go to the factory, you get everything built.
It just implies
there.
that everything got settled and created at the same time, though. That's the thing. Like, all the at least these two civilizations were established at the same time, or at least close enough to cover the.
Well, if they were planned as these jewels or whatever, being protected with those satellites, all of that is very planned. Why not plan at the same time? You build things at the same time.
Yep.
It is a more efficient way of doing things.
It's true. So the kids, they go for a little bit of a wander around, and they're kind of going, oh, this looks like our house, but it's got the trees in it are too old now, and they've grown too much, and which is also a little bit weird because you'd think if their planet had been hidden for hundreds of years, the trees would have grown by now. It seemed like a weird thing to cling to. Like, you feel like trees would grow by then, or was it just because it's growing through the middle of the house?
Growing through the middle of the house.
Yeah.
Like those abandoned towns you see in like National Geographic and stuff, like the towns are surrounding Chernobyl and other places.
Nature has taken over.
Yeah.
And they go for a bit of a wander around, and then they run into essentially some like child soldiers. So the like most French girl in the world, she's even like doing parkour and stuff. Mohl, was it Hannah? Her name?
Her real name?
Oh, no.
Her real name's Hulla.
Hulla. Sorry, that was close.
No, that's her real life name.
Oh, sorry. What was her? Wasn't her character's name Hannah?
I'm not sure.
Oh.
It was close to that, like Hayne. I think I remember reading.
Oh, okay. And she's sort of like, she's Frenching around everywhere. She's doing little flips and jumps and yeah, effectively they pick the kids up, and there's these sort of two factions that are going on in the town here, and there's like the one that's got all the kids soldiers, and then it seems like, because I actually kind of thought, like, when they first came, I thought, oh, is this like a Lost Boys kind of thing?
Lord of the Flies situation.
Or Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome kind of situation.
Yeah.
I got an Infinity War vibes when it was like, what flag do you serve? What am I supposed to say, Jesus?
It was just like there's sort of like these two factions there. There's like the sort of the older dudes who seem to be a bit better equipped, and then there's these sort of
the French Revolution.
Yeah, it's the French Revolution. So the girl and she had like another little kid with her. Hayne
was
okay.
Hayna.
Okay, I wasn't a million miles off.
No.
And so she just sort of says, all right, I'll take you to our hideout, our stronghold, and it's the school, or it's an approximation of their school, basically.
Yeah, well, it sort of seems that the architecture's the same, but also the placement of the buildings is the same, like the same town planning. But yeah, it's sort of, you wonder whether there's some symbolism to them being set up in the school, if there is a reason for that. And when they get back to Attin, part of that gets revealed. Yeah.
Is there more to it? Is it just more? I mean, there's obviously more to it here, but it's, so like you said, Mohl, they kind of meet the French revolutionaries, and Hannah's dad is leading the charge. And everybody seems to have their theories about who they thought it was in the first 5 seconds. I thought it was Christopher Lambert, the Highlander, because he talked like this. And I was like, oh, shit, it's Christopher Lambert.
Highlander, as if it could be.
Yeah, Christopher Lambert. Or Raiden from the original Mortal Kombat movie.
No way.
I thought that was a pretty good guess.
It was too skinny.
For Christopher Lambert, who do you think? No.
Is it Lambert or Lambert?
He's French. It's Lambert. Christopher Lambert. Now,
Lambert.
I've got to look him up and see how old he is.
He is 67.
Gee, that was quick. Yeah, he could have played that.
Matthew
Oh, he could. Yeah, it could have been him. That's a pretty. He's still looking pretty good.
Matthew Kovacevic is 57. Oh, he's in Amelie. Oh, good on you.
Oh, there you go. Good film. What about you, Catherine? Because you said that when you sort of saw the dad for the first time, you thought it was somebody else.
You thought it was Kane and Jarrus.
I thought it was Freddie Prinze Jr. I didn't think that for very long.
Playing Kane and Jarrus or playing another?
I didn't think it was very long.
Well, you were wrong as well too, Matt. I think, weren't you?
I thought it was another French. At least a French guy. At least it was another French revolutionary. It was Jean Villeneuve from The Patriot, Mel Gibson's little French buddy.
Goodness,
that was a good movie.
Gosh, that's a pull. So we were all wrong, but it was somebody French, and he was sort of leading the revolution, and seemed to be pretty happy to have the old child soldiers going, and seemed pretty happy just to give the gang some guns and get them to practice, basically. Like,
yeah,
just some more cannon fodder.
Basically, I think that was how he seemed to be treating them.
He didn't seem to be that friendly in the end. He sort of sent them on their way.
Yeah, well, he was reasonably sort of welcoming enough. Just, he said, like, if you want to join our team, we can always use another body to hold a weapon, I guess. But yeah, is Neil the MVP of this show? Has he gone into God tier Star Wars status character? Yeah. Neil, he is something else. This kid,
he's pretty good. He got the Time Magazine Man of the Year. Did you see that?
Oh, that's nice. I can get behind that. He was great this episode, Neil. He was sort of he's almost sort of like pulling some moves as well. Did you see his little shuffle when when they were sitting on the roof? His little shuffle over.
Look, before they got to the base, when Hannah had them hiding in the old tram from the patrol, and they were crouching down. He was really scared. Did you see and hear his little trunk? Was quivering. From fear.
I saw the bit where he was trying to get the ash out of it. He's like, "Oh, there's too much ash in my trunk."
In my trunk. Like, yeah, that was funny.
Oh, sweetheart boy.
Ah, there you go. That's very nice. Well, we can get behind that. He's got his little dungaroos on in that photo. Yeah, he was great. He was sort of the conscious of he didn't seem overly keen to pick up a gun and start firing like the other kids seemed to be pretty happy with the concept of that.
Yeah, I think, with the concept of firing, but I don't think they're thrilled with the concept of fighting.
No, I think it was kind of just fun to shoot something because they got to shoot some stuff out of the ship last week, but not much for Kay Beta this week, sadly. Someone who sort of had a moment to step to the front. She kind of got sort of not much to do this
sideline this week.
Yeah, I hope they do more with her because she seems very cool, but she's been very sidelined, and more so this week.
She had a nice moment when they got her to do the high five.
Oh yeah, that
was
good.
A bit sort of like Terminator, like talk to the hand, like learn how to do the hand of high five.
This was a Fern and Neil centric episode.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to Fern as well because I think Fern was real
front and center.
Yeah. So they sort of go up on the roof and they're talking about. And there's the other curious thing about this were all the other species the same as at Attin? I saw Rhodians. I saw Athorians, which is hammerheads.
Yep.
I didn't see any Neils, whatever he's going on. Were there other? Because those two species were definitely on at Attin, and I think there was only like 5 different species on there. Might have to do
No.
another rewatch.
There was a very diverse mix on at Attin. Like,
but it was only about 5 different species because they were on the mural on the wall as well. They all were represented on there as well. I just wasn't sure whether there was like for Crappen or whatever it's called, and or whether it was a little bit different. Maybe they threw a few different curveballs in.
Yeah, I didn't see that many. They were mostly human.
Frenchies.
Poor Brittany will be devastated if you're listening, Brittany Brown. The French are back. The French have returned. Vive la France. Vive la Revolution. Yeah, I was just wondering whether it was just another clue to the planets where it's like, all right, same restrictions, same layout, same buildings, same species inhabited, all that kind of biz.
Snobby bunch of people.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that they can they get off the planet because the dad sort of said
we do not leave the planet except to trade munitions.
Yeah, so they do actually leave though, so they can actually.
Well, there doesn't seem to be the same restrictions and
whatever was there is gone.
We do not take any interest in off-worlders.
Yeah. So, the idea of off-worlders doesn't freak them out. So it's something they do and they trade for, munitions and other things. But otherwise, yeah.
But you think it's
Where
funny?
do they get Eopies from?
Tatooine. Maybe they just tried with other crap planets.
How come they didn't fart?
Yeah, missed opportunity. What
a waste for some low-hanging fruit humor.
But it's just weird though, because they've got a planet like Attin is this legendary supposed planet that no one's heard of or no one's seen, and it's gone into legend. And yet there's a planet called Attin
At Akron
that almost sounds the same, that has references to Attin on it, which apparently isn't locked down, and people could go there. But don't you think that that's where you'd start if you were looking for Attin? If you knew there was a planet called Kratten?
Well,
and there was they named all the other ones. Like, is it like Van is At the same as like Van in Dutch, where it just means from? Like if you mean Van Nistelrooy or
That's like Attin from Timu, full of crap French people. Like, who cares about that?
Yeah, but does the At mean something? Like, what does At mean in relation to these planets? Does it just mean is it meaningless, and it's just
yeah, we don't know. But they only said those names in the tower, didn't they? They didn't say those names anywhere else. Like
no.
Like 33 said Akron on the ship, but otherwise it wasn't said by people on the ground, was it?
As in, do they know the name of their own planet, kind of thing?
Yeah,
possibly.
I can't quite remember.
Feels like it's I need a subtitles rewatch on this one, I think.
Yeah, but all the names were said when they were in the tower, and that's where all the names were.
Yeah.
So, and by the sounds of it, the people on the ground don't go into the tower. It's not like they've taken over the tower as like a point of observation, because you'd think it's got a good lookout. Yeah,
it's one of those sort of like Star Wars things that sometimes you're dealing with a planet, but you're actually dealing with a town, and it sort of is the town representative of the whole planet, or is it just a town within a larger thing? Or is this the whole population of the planet, or is there 1,000 of these little things going on all across this planet, or is it literally just the one thing? And yeah,
like not maybe think too deeply.
Yeah, I suppose so. I just want to know. I just want to get this mystery solved. This is the thing. So essentially, the kids get roped into leading a raid, and poor Neil gets shoved at the front and sort of plucks up the courage and gets at the front of this thing. And
well, sorry to jump back, but there was the scene on top of the school roof where Neil and Hannah are having the conversations, but also she gets the Allen key and opens up for that big, enormous gun
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
in the school. And you've got to wonder, is there something similar in their school at Attin?
Oh, I didn't even think of that. That's a really good point. Like if they go up there and find that there's a great big gun stashed in the top of the school.
Yeah, if they get the, a giant Allen key and go, vloop,
Well, I think the Daniels are directing the next episode as well, which makes me feel like this is probably a two-hander. Like, kind of, obviously it ends. Haven't left the planet or anything like that. So I think there's more to it on this sort of thing. But I don't know, Mohl. Neil's kind of poking holes in their logic. He's just sort of saying, why don't you all just give up your beef and stop fighting and
Peace.
bit of peace, man.
Neil, such a sweetie. I think Kat's going to have one of a Neil doll by Christmas.
Where are the Neil plushies at Christmas time? I haven't seen them yet. But I mean, he's talking sense, and she's sort of Haya or Hanya or whatever her name is. Sorry, I'm getting it wrong. Is just a bit like, oh yeah, you make some interesting points, little blue fellow. Why do we just keep, you blow them up today, they blow you up tomorrow, kind of thing? It's all sort of this vicious cycle that who knows how long it's been going on for.
Yeah, it's been going on for a long time because there's no real reason for the fighting. Like, she could say, well, they stole our EOPs, but that happened in the past day.
Yeah,
right?
that just seems like the most recent beef in a long. They just sort of really kind of forgotten what the original sort of problem was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, but yeah, and the kids get let out on a raid. They're at the front, sort of, a little bit scared as you would be, and then through the mist comes Crimson Jack himself, who's looking very happy with himself.
Yeah, as he should, because we left him walking down the ramp with 33 to try to jog his memory, because he'd said some things on the ship where Crimson Jack was sort of going, oh, you know more than what you're saying or what you can remember. Let's try to
jog the memory
circuits.
Yep.
Yeah. And then they were surrounded by warriors, and Jod just goes, "Oh, just shoot me already."
Did you do you feel like that was a cop out, Mohl? They didn't run that part on screen, like the taken in or him cutting a deal and all that sort of stuff? Or do you think that there might be more to that, and that's why they haven't shown it?
I just thought it was good humor. Yeah, I don't know. That was. I'm not reading too much into it. I think it was just he had the OPs and
You just use the credits to buy them off, and
I think it was just a bit of dumb luck. Not there's not too much.
you don't think there's too much? There's nothing going on.
There's not a lot of meat on that bone. I think you're giving Watson Co a lot of credit.
Oh really?
Maybe
I thought maybe he might have screwed him over or something, or that they'll come looking for him, or he didn't quite play out like he said he did, and they haven't gotten off the planet yet. He kind of thought maybe he'd get the kids and get out of there before anybody was the wiser, but no.
Maybe.
No. I just thought it was weird that it was all just done off screen. Like, I know you get that moment where he kind of comes through the mist and he's sort of going, "Oh, hello, I'm back." And he does his little like woo. He calls the Eopies.
They go running through and past Neil, who's just standing there like, "Whoa, what's happening?" His little ears quivering.
Yeah. And then they sort of go, "Well, they've proved their mettle. We'll take them up to the sanctuary or whatever it was. They might be able to get some information." And yeah. And there's a nice little moment with Neil and Hannah or Henya, and you get
all the kids give Jod a hug. Well, women, Neil especially, give him a hug, and he sort of hugs them back, or at least pats their back. Like, it was a nice little moment of
the team coming. Yeah,
and that he comes in and trades for them. That he wants the kids back. Obviously it serves him to have them back, but still, it's he's showing us
Was he a little
that
bit
heart of
too? Was he a
gold.
little bit too chuckles friendly? Is something bubbling on underneath? I don't know.
No,
No.
no.
You think he's just showing his heart of gold?
Look, he's not, quote unquote, a good guy, but he's not, a bad, evil.
Okay. Okay.
He's
I feel like he's
a
gonna something.
scoundrel.
I feel like he's gonna let him down.
He's gonna let him
Oh,
down.
he's
but
definitely
not,
got an agenda, but he's not going to shit the bed yet.
He's not going to be malicious.
He's still having a good time.
He might let them down, but he's not going to be malicious. If you get my meaning.
Okay. We'll see. I'm reserving judgment on this. No, we didn't really get any sort of more insight into what his deal is as far as who he is and can he use the Force and all that kind of stuff. It never really came up this week. I suppose we don't have to have answers every week, but so yeah, they go off to the sanctuary and Neil says goodbye to his lady friend and gets a little smoochy smooch.
Oh, some cross genetic action.
What happens? There are cross-species relationships in Star Wars. I've seen in the comics and stuff. I've seen it. It's around.
It's a very liberal, open-minded French lady.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Ooh la la. There's one to tell your grandkids about. And they sort of see her off. I don't think it'll be the last we see of her. But did you see like when she walks off and she just does this little like flip?
There's a little flip, a little sexy flip.
Little parkour again. Parkour. She does a little. Does anybody use that GIF yet for Skeleton Crew? I'm sure Ben Hart will do the skeleton without spoilers, without context, and do the little parkour. But yeah, so they get up to the sanctuary and it's a big empty room, as Jude Law says, and then there's all these sort of pillars and things, and they go around, they're sort of rubbing the dust off the thing, and yep, there's sort of 8 pillars, and they seem to be the names of all the 8 planets of these Jewels of the Republic, and they've got all their space coordinates. I've never seen that. Have you ever seen that space coordinate language in anything else in Star Wars? How they've done it with the dots, sort of has it ever been in anything else?
I've never seen that.
No, I'm sort of.
I bet Andy Bell has. He seems to be a lore wizard.
Yeah. I was thinking
Comic
more
book
Stargate.
man.
You're thinking what? Sorry, Catherine.
Stargate.
Oh yeah.
How with Stargate, you have all the coordinates to get 7 in the original, our universe, and you need an 8th to get to the Pegasus universe.
We need what's his name?
Richard Dean Anderson.
I was thinking of the other guy,
MacGyver.
James Spader.
Denny Crane.
Oh wow, what a pull! I haven't seen Stargate in years. I did see it at the cinema.
And the television show, which was good.
Oh right, no, I don't think I ever saw the television show. Did it have Christopher Lambert in it?
It had Christopher
No.
Lambert.
Had the 10 seasons.
10 seasons.
10 seasons of Stargate SG-1.
Jeez.
Was it 5 seasons of Stargate Atlantis, then 2 seasons of Stargate Universe, cruelly cut short, can I just say?
Cruelly cut short after 17 seasons.
How many seasons of Babylon 5 did you watch, Catherine?
None.
But you watched 47 seasons of Survivor.
Yes.
Jesus.
No, Stargate Universe had Robert Carlyle in it. 2 seasons it should have got more. It was really good.
All right. Get your billboard in Times Square going for that one. It's never too late. So yeah, so they essentially find all these pillars with all the planets and things, and all the coordinates except Attin's had its star coordinates ripped out of pulled down, destroyed off there. And then we get some absolute primo acting from Fern, who I thought that Master Soul's acting in The Acolyte could not be topped as far as Star Wars this year, and she came pretty close. That was we don't usually get acting that good in Star Wars. She really was wonderful in that, and very sort of the tough exterior fell down.
Yeah. And she was a kid in that moment. But, throughout the episode, you could see the weight of the responsibility.
Of being the captain.
Being the captain. But I get the impression she's the eldest kid there, so she feels a responsibility that, I'm the oldest, I know more, I'm bigger than you.
My mummy's very powerful.
But she's always sort of those shown that she's been a bit rebellious, sort of fighting against her, sort of what her parents want her to be, and yeah, she's definitely got this tough exterior that she puts on, but it all sort of came crumbling down in a moment when she sort of thought that they were out of options, and they were just basically stuck.
Yeah, and she sort of felt like she was to blame, that she brought them there, that, she said, she brought them to a war zone or a battle. But can I just say, for a war zone, we saw very little war or battles.
Yeah.
Which was very good.
It's kind of just and again, it's that thing where it's, it's starring kids. It's essentially a kids show. You've kind of got to, you can't be going too hardcore on this sort of stuff as well. And I think it was quite good because it just showed it was sort of this pointless ongoing skirmish between these two factions that are just basically tit for tatting. The only reason they're kind of using up all their time to basically get at the other ones rather than trying to improve their station and make the place a bit nicer to live. But there was some wonderful, wonderful acting from Fern. But then Mohl, she has a little revelation, like the little light bulb, bing.
How to bypass the droid's annoying repetition.
Of what does he keep saying?
I don't remember no Attin.
And there's a particular reason why you don't remember no Attin.
Because he do remember Attin.
Because the files were removed from the computer. What's the line from that? Because someone removed the files from the Republic Archive.
Truly wonderful, the mind of a child.
We're just pulling quotes tonight. That's just how we're rolling. So, yeah, she realizes that there's a reason that SM33 keeps saying, I don't remember no Attin every time someone brings it up. It's because he's been programmed to not access that bit of his memory.
Be subtle. Don't make it seem like you don't know. But you do.
So, actually, before we get to that, he reveals that he was on this planet with the old captain. So basically they came here, they did the thing that I said, was that they went, there's another planet, let's go there and see if they've got any information about Attin. And lo and behold, they find the coordinates. The captain kills the rest of the crew, so anybody who's seen it, takes them for himself, and then tells SM33 to break them. So now finds out.
Okay, so here is my absolutely nut bar, wild thought that occurred to me.
Love it. Go for it.
It's not going to happen.
This is the right forum.
So it occurred to me when Jod was asking SM33 about Attin, and 33 seemed like he was about to say something, and then out came the rat. So my wacky theory is the rat
Oh, here we go.
Is the captain.
What is the captain?
It's not bad because he
Thank
starts
you.
smoking and stuff, doesn't he? Because remember, he starts like smoking and kind of. So you think the rat could just be sort of manipulating him to like shut up.
Yep, he's ratatouilleing him.
That's pretty solid. I like that. I would like that a lot if that actually turned out. He's like, oh, you got me. And, he puts on his little hat and he... That's pretty good, Catherine. That, like, you get a gold star. If that turns out to be right...
A podcast gold star live on air.
You get a podcast gold star.
I've never got one of those.
Rightfully so.
I've done, like, Nick Frost. Nick Frost is basically on the podcast tonight, and...
that's a solid.
I feel
theory.
like Daddy Pig after he never got a gold star, and now he's
Daddy Pig was a world champion puddle jumper. He got his dues. See, you brought a knife to a gunfight on that one. That's a great theory, Catherine. I really like that. I hope you know what. I'll get you a Neil Black series if that turns out to be true.
It won't be.
I want it to be true now. I think that's genius. You know, right now somewhere, once this is uploaded, because Disney's got some AI scraper, and they've just gone, oh my, someone's running with a piece of paper into John Watts' office. Like, you're not going to believe this. Someone actually figured out what's going on. It's Catherine Kneen. And they're like, we thought she was just in the Andor speculation thing. We had a pigeonholed, we had her under surveillance for that. We didn't even consider this other thing. Wow. That's cool. That's a great theory, Catherine. I absolutely hope that's it. That's a killer theory. But, yeah. The rat has told me to kill the crew. But Fern basically just does the old, whatever it is. It seems to be just a pretty standard override. You can just tell a droid to remember things. And then what happens, Mohl? He goes mental.
He goes full infiltrator droid from Rebels. Like, the other droids were like sentry droids and just security. And then
he's like, Order 66. Someone told him to execute Order 66. He just sort of went off.
Limb from limb. That was good.
Yeah.
That was
very Rebels-esque.
So, yeah, he essentially was sort of like, yep, well, I got told that anybody who started snooping around and asking questions was going to have to get, like you said, limb from limbed. And he started to turn on the kids. And then Neil again for the clutch. Neil on the run-in.
When he threw a rock.
Well, he still showed his courage.
Showed some elephant balls.
And...
because Jod was trying to shoot.
Yeah.
But the blaster failed.
But then he did save the day, and then they're like, "Oh, thanks, Neil, you're the best." And he's like, Jude Law's like, "What the fuck?"
He's just there. He's not there for the plaudits. He's there for the treasure. And
he's there for plaudits.
And plaudits. And essentially, SM-33 conks out the old flick the switch behind the neck thing, turn the droid off, plug it out, pull the plug, and he cucks it. Well, not cucks, he goes to sleep on top of Neil, and then Neil faints. And that's the end of the episode.
Yep.
I think I was expecting a beat more.
Yeah, I thought that there would be a little bit more. It was an interesting place to end it.
Yeah.
Why would a bunch of French adults entrust children to lead them into battle? Oh, because they respect kids or something, but still, that was weird.
Or that they'll just shoot the kids and they'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
Put the cannon fodder first.
Yeah. It's just the French, mate.
God, the French is such a bunch of surrenderers.
Dudes, no.
Sorry to all our French listeners if you're out there.
Je suis désolé.
Yeah. We're not going to be able to get a Star Wars Celebration in Paris 2032 or whenever it's going to be. We won't be welcomed.
I'm already not welcome.
Just the two of you.
Oh yeah, Catherine's all right. Catherine, if that theory about the captain's correct, you'll be chaired into every Star Wars celebration for life.
Oh yeah, you'll be like a Jewish wedding. They'll just have you on a chair, like the theory killer.
They'll give you the VIP pass for life. You got the Jedi Master VIP pass for life.
The Kessel Run Transmissions 2.0, the spoiler of all spoilers.
No. Look, no.
I think it's a solid. I think it's a solid theory, but why would the rat not give him the key? But he want to blow his cover.
And
why would the rat kill people?
Because he wants the treasure. He's not.
Why would the rat want treasure?
Because he's a sentient. He's like those little, those little dudes in Rebels. The little general, the guy who was like tiny. There's all sorts.
It's like Pinky in the Brain.
Nah.
Why did the brain want to take over the world every night?
But why would then he accept
you get that reference, Josh? Surely. I'm not the oldest.
Oh no, Pinky in the Brain. Yeah, absolutely. Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Yeah. I don't know. I'm down.
Try to take over the world.
So I feel like we're going to pick up where we left off next week. Like I think Neil's just fainted, and they'll, next week when we come in, he'll just wake up and he's like, oh, and then I don't know. We're going to be on this planet. I feel like we're not done with these people. I think the other ones are going to come back figuring that maybe Jude Law's got more money at least or something, or they just want the ship because they don't want to be on their crappy planet anymore.
Yeah, they've got to get back to their ship. Now, will this be another, Star Wars thing where they just leave, ships unlocked and open, and yet they're still there when they get back? That happens in every show, like including Andor. So it's
maybe it's got like a breathalyzer attached to it or something. You got to blow. It's you can't just take off. But I mean, those kids literally pushed a button and took off in that ship. So who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah. So what does it mean? They still need a way off the planet. They still need to find out where they're going next. It seems SM-33 knows how to get to Attin, but if you wake him up, is he going to go mental? Can KB do something to him to calm him when he wakes up? Are they getting back to the ship, restrain him? I don't know. Are we going to see the revolutionary kids? Not sure. Any theories here? Catherine, you've been the queen of theories tonight.
Jod will carry Neil back to the ship while carrying him because, he's got that dad energy now. KB will do some plugging in to 33, and I think that might be in a way to have a KB episode or find out more about KB, having her try and access 33 or working with Jod to break through the programming.
Yep. What about the parents, Mohl? We didn't touch in with them this week. Is there?
Like, I hope they come back soon. The droids are going to save us.
Well, there was one.
The supervisor's going to help us out soon.
There was one line I think that was in the trailer that we haven't seen yet, which was the dad going like, "It's clear that they're not just going to come back. We've got to go out and find them ourselves," kind of thing. Like we haven't had that moment yet, so maybe we touch in with them next week.
I don't think so. I think they're going to catch up with Ezra searching for Ahsoka and Thrawn next week.
Pretty Bridget, oh my god! Imagine if Thrawn comes back next week, you're not coming on the podcast. Just like, oh, sorry, mate, we just ended up recording at a different time.
Next week is Christmas Day. I don't think any of us are coming on the podcast next week.
Yeah, I've got to figure out what to do with that. Yeah, so that'll be the Christmas special.
You might be tethering from a bloody tin can on a hot roof.
No, I'll be in Langatha, so I'll have internet. It's the week after, which is when I'm down at the beach where we don't have internet. That'll be more difficult, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But yeah, good fun this episode. Really different. And I was saying the different shots. When 33 kind of goes mental, and there was that front on shot of him where it was he was right in frame. I've never really seen
a real POV shot.
Yeah, I've never really done that in Star Wars before. It was quite a unique shot for Star Wars. That really seemed like the only bit that felt like it was unique to those guys shooting. Everything else felt like it was sort of
a bit scary.
Yeah, the kids were a bit like, "Ooh, it was a bit scary," but it was good. So I've got their reaction. For the people that keep telling me how much they're enjoying my daughter's reviews at the end of this, maybe we'll just, like I said, we'll just retire and we'll let them run it. It might be them for the Christmas Day one. Might just be 3 minutes of their reaction. That's the whole episode.
Well, they can give us their review of Santa's presents as well.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Santa comes up with. I'm not privy. Me like everyone else, got to wait for Santa. But thank you guys. Have a wonderful Christmas. If I don't see you on Christmas, we'll see. Have a Christmas swim. Have some seafood. I hope you're recovered by then, Catherine, and you've shaken your spicy cough.
Yep, me too.
It was going to get you eventually. And Matt, I hope your family has a lovely Christmas. I hope your little boy gets all the things he wants. Lots of Star Wars stuff, hopefully.
I don't remember podcasting about some show about Attin.
You can go run that by him, see how that goes. But that's about it for this week. We're gonna wrap it up. So yeah, thanks everybody. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Josh. Merry Christmas, all.
Merry
And
Christmas.
to all a good night on Attin.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Bye.
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 Okay, who have we got here?
Sloan.
And
Olive.
how old are you, Sloan, now?
6.
Are you 6 now? Did you turn 6 the other day?
Yes.
Wow, pretty cool. So, have we just watched the 4th episode of Skeleton Crew?
Yes.
What did we think?
It was good, but a little bit scary at the end because I'm like, the droid's good. Uh-oh, the droid's bad.
What do you think, Sloanie?
That was good, but the end bit was bad because it's like to pull them apart.
There was a bit of that, but was Neil the hero this week?
Yeah.
Is Neil becoming your favourite, or are you still like KB the best?
KB.
All right.
I like KB.
And what about the other kids?
So.
So.
I like all of them.
What about Fern? Did you feel bad for Fern?
Yeah.
Was she trying to be tough?
Yeah, but she fails a little bit.
So what's going to happen now? They're still stuck on this other planet.
Yes, well, maybe we'll get another droid, maybe.
Dad,
what is, maybe, they might, get lost and then they, get through some bad guys and then they kill the bad guys and then, they get back to Attin.
That's true. That's pretty good. You don't want to kill anybody, do you?
What? Yeah, but it's like, they're like good to, they find Attin and then they stay there so they don't get lost again.
That's probably true. What was that other show that was telling us to watch? That was a show called Andor. That's another Star Wars show. It's a bit more grown up, though.
Yeah.
Do you think you want to watch that too?
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll see about that. All right, so you're going to come back next week for the next episode?
Yeah, next Wednesday. Yeah. Next. 3, 2, 1. Wednesday.
All right, thanks, guys.